All right, I'm live. I'm live. Been filling my needles. I hate doing this. Holy cow, I got 5 on there already? Where are they at? I don't see none. I don't see nobody. Maybe you're slow like me. Ah, okay. What's on my, let's see what's on my, I ain't got nothing on my, uh, now I'm down to 2. What's up with that? Had me 5, now it's 2. Go figure that out. Oh, Lord. Am I doing too many lives? Um, Hello. Speak up, my friend. Don't be bashful. Now I'm up to 3. But that don't mean squat. Speak up, my friend. Oh, there's Troy. Now I'm down to 1. What's going on? I was up to 5, Troy, and now it's just showing 1, and that be you. How you doing, my friend? I'm now I'm back up to 3 again. I've been sitting here. Do you have to do this, Troy? I'm having to use this insulin that comes in the bottles, and I have to fill my darn needles, and I hate that. Hey, Lisa. Lisa, did you see that one video that had that picture of that big old leafy thing out beside my house and it's got them cones? I meant to put a picture up here so I could show it to you. But it's got little white flowers on it. And my daughter said that's a tropical plant of some kind. She sees them at Walmart a lot, but she don't know what the name of them are. But she says them cones get covered all over with white flowers. I would sure like to know the name of that. Um, when those things go dormant, I'm gonna pot some of them. I should have already potted some, but I didn't know what they were. You use the pens. The VA won't give me the pens, Troy. I used to use Levemere, but they won't give me the pens now. They're way too expensive. Um, I've been told those pens are about $100 a piece. I don't know. Um, uh, do I have your email, Lisa? If I could send you a picture of, I've got a couple of good pictures of that. But yeah, I don't. I wished I had to live. I hate sitting here. I feel 20 at a time, and I hate it. But most of the time when I'm filling them, somehow or another, I get air in the needle, and I have to mess with it and redo it and all that stuff. I hate doing this. I hate that, and I hate filling my pill box every week. Uh, all right, Lisa. If I got your email, I'll send you a pic. I meant on putting one up here on the live stream, but I forgot to upload it up here, and I have to do that before I put anything on. But I at least I am really buckling down on stuff. I'm gonna take some of y'all's advice. I need to pace myself. I need to not try to do everything. And every time when I was going out on a scooter, I always come back with cuttings. And I just went through a bunch of cuttings over here on the table that I don't even know what they are, and some of them were dying, they weren't doing. And with the way Troy's having lawnmower trouble. Hey Angie, how you doing, dear? Yeah, yeah. Troy's having lawnmower problem. He's got a riding mower, and to cut his grass, he'd start it. The transmission don't work, so he'd start it, then he'd get behind it and push it to cut the grass. And he's got a big yard. He showed me his big yard on that private chat we had. He's got a big yard. And I got to talk to his mama. Say hi to Ruby, Troy, your mama. And Michaela, your daughter. And I forget your son's name. But I've talked to all of them. I love these live chats, folks. Um, I'm doing pretty good. I'm kind of frustrated that I can get. I've got one video that I've got 80 views on it, and that's a lot usually for me. But I only get 7 or 8 likes. I can't figure why does people not want to leave them likes. Or thumbs down. Now I've got 2 or 3 that I always leave thumbs down. It don't matter. I always look over there at my percentage and it says like 94, 95%. So I knew I've got 2 or 3 uh, uh, thumbs down, and when you don't get many views with thumbs up, a couple of thumbs down throws you into the 90 to 80 something percent. I don't like that, but nothing I can do it. I like the name, Owen. What name? Did they fix the school? I ain't heard a thing from them yet. This is Wednesday. They're supposed to call sometime this week, so that might mean next week. I don't know, but I sure want it fixed. Now I can get on it and go around in the yard and stuff, and just a few rounds around the yard. That thing's when I start coming up the ramp, it starts dropping. And if I went around too many times, it wouldn't get up the ramp. But did I see Barbara? Did I see Barbara? No, I didn't see Barbara. There's Darlene. Hey, Darlene. You remember? You remember Darlene on what was in Roseanne? One of her daughters was named Darlene. I see her on TV a lot. I think she's on one of them talk shows. Um, oh, his name is Owen. Okay, I got it. Owen, Michaela, and Ruby, and Troy. Wait a minute. You got a wife in there somewhere. I talked to her too, didn't I? Oh, well, I'm 80. Give me a break. But yeah, I want that thing fixed bad. I swear I do, and I got to figure out how to start pushing that GoFundMe. I got somebody that does that for you, promotes it, but they want to charge you, and that don't mean nothing, you know. You give them some money, you may not get nothing. That may be a scam. I don't know. But somebody sent me an email about it. I just ignored it. I'm not gonna. My wife is okay, Allison. Now I never heard her name before. I don't think. I don't think. Troy's in South Carolina, and he's got a big yard. When when I lived out in Citrus for all them years, I had an acre out there, and it was a pain. It was a pain. The back, I had a peach tree in the back, and one orange tree. They never did all that great. But boy, this I tell you what, these three orange trees out here in back of the house. Now one of them is a very small orange. They're about the size of the bottle of this water, if they're that big. And they're small and they're sweet and they're ruby red inside. It's an orange. And then the other one, I don't know what the crap that thing is. That most of the fruit was already gone off of that when we moved here. Uh, might be a lemon tree, but it don't look like a lemon tree. But that other one, that's a navel orange, boy. And I asked my daughter, I said, you reckon our neighbors is going to be helping themselves to that? Because their apartment's on the same property, but actually that's our yard that the trees are on. So I may not want to be in the sharing mood, but I'm sure gonna get all I can get. I'll tell you that, because they were really sweet, really sweet. I love them neighbors. Used to when I lived out in Citrus, there was a grove about 2 miles uh, from us, and it's Johnson's Grove, and it was you pick, and you go in there and you pick a half a bushel. Actually, it was more than a half a bushel for $5. That's a lot of oranges, and and he lets you heat that basket up. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but boy, he had some fine oranges in there, and he used to have orange blossom honey too, but the 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 state made him quit selling his honey because he wasn't registered to sell it or something you have to go through to do it, and he wasn't registered to sell it. But it was good honey, I'll tell you that. But I know we every year we even had relatives that come down here from North Carolina when they were in and picking just a pile of them things and taking them back to North Carolina and selling them. Um, my family fought in the Civil War on the North and South. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I had one on the North. He lived in Maryland. I forgot about that one. Uh, I've not talked to Allison. I thought I had. I thought I had. Maybe not, though, you know. My memory's not that great. On hers, yeah, it's getting where I need to get shaved again. It itches when I get hair. Don't know why. But yeah, that one video, I think it was 86 views when I looked at it last, and only had like 7 or 8 thumbs up. Uh, and I noticed now when I go on somebody's video watching it, it don't automatically give them a thumbs up like I had it set to, and now I forgot how I set it to do that. because I like to give a thumbs up every time I see somebody's video. But I haven't been doing any videos. Well, I did one yesterday, and I got to looking at it, and it's totally doing what I was telling myself I'm not going to do anymore. I get off topic. It's not, and I got one I'm going to do now. I'll do it. I'll finish it up tomorrow. I started a week ago. I wanted to, since I've been having trouble getting some of my seeds to germinate, I wanted to do that paper towel method they talk about, and I've been watching some of them. They sure enough germinate in there. And what you do, uh, you take, well, hold on a minute. I can't show you the thing because they're sealed up. But you take a towel like this. This is a napkin, and you fold it over like that. But you lay the seeds. You lay some seeds in here, however how many you want, and then fold it over. And I put it in this tray, and it's soaked. It gets soaked with water, and then I leave it. The batch I'm working on now, it's been 5 days. Tomorrow will be 5 days. Today was 4 days, and I was thinking it was 5 days today till I looked at the date. And by that time, I had already opened one up, and lo and behold, there was this was it was one of the pepper seeds. I had about 5 seeds in there germinated in 4 days. And I checked something else, and that had germinated. So I closed them back up and put them back in the thing, and I'm going to do the opening tomorrow. I'm going to do it on video to see how many of them is germinated. But some of that stuff like paprika, I have not been able to get any paprika to germinate, in the dirt. But the way this is looking now, all right, 12 people, thumbs up. It don't hurt. It don't hurt. It don't cost nothing. It makes Dobber feel good. But if this works out like it looks like it's going to, I'll never start seeds in the dirt again. I'll go to the napkin thing. I mean, my gosh, that one was tomato seeds. Those cherry tomatoes that, matter of fact, it was seeds that Naparuski sent me, and I'm gonna they're cherry tomatoes. I love them little things. It's a little late, but tomatoes, they like warm days, cool nights. Well, that might work a little bit here in the fall. But my peppers now, the peppers that I'm getting now, and by the way, I just pickled 1 jar. Oh, and I'm using these old jars when I empty them, and what I'm doing, I'm saving the stuff, the liquid. I'm not throwing it away, and I take and fill the jar up with the peppers, or in this case, I did 1 jar of peppers, and I did 1 jar of carrots and onions. And I heat that liquid up. I bring it to a boil, and then I've already got the stuff in the jar, and I pour it in a jar, and pour it in a jar, and then put a lid on it, the same lid. And these lids, it's sealed. And what I did, I turned it up like that, And those peppers I did, these peppers are jalapenos. They're not the mild. I don't have any mild yet. I got some mild plants coming along. But something I never realized before is that pepper plants are perennials. You can carry them over from winter to winter. You know, one guy's got them. Said he's got some he's had for 3 years. So I don't know. Where you going? Put some items up for sale. Okay. What do you put them on, Art, Darlene? I'm fixing to list some stuff on eBay. Uh, do I have any more stickers left? Would like to have one. If you, yeah, I got stickers. Ain't nobody asked me for stickers in a while. Yeah, I've got stickers. Matter of fact, I may just go ahead and design some more because I got the stickers and everything. Yeah, Troy sent me an email. I've got your email address. So, but send me your address. Send me your mailing address, and I'll even send you a picture of me back pre-COVID when I was sitting on my scooter with my bib overall. I'm all tempted to try and put my bib overalls on again. That's going to be hard for me to do. Um, but I, I'm really trying to make my videos more interesting. But yesterday I spent a whole bunch of the day going through all of showing people how you can propagate them straw. How it's so easy to start from one and just go to a whole patch, and it sucked. I do. I just wind up getting off topic. Then I go for 3 or 4 minutes, and you don't hear a peep out of me. And that's to me, I hate videos like that. That where somebody's not carrying on the conversation, And I don't know if it's my age. I don't know. I used to wonder when I was younger why old people act the way they do. And all of a sudden I realized I'm old and I'm acting just like that. And it's like I'm not aware of it when I'm doing it. And I try to I try to plan it out what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the strawberry thing all over again because it's kind of interesting the way, and I come up with some little techniques that I use that I never seen anybody use because I always had trouble when you got a runner and if you try to plant that runner in the dirt and push it down in there, you usually get it too far above the crown and it's not going to take. So I started just laying that runner on the dirt and putting a metal washer or a screw or a bolt or something on it to hold it down on the dirt. And problem with that, it don't work too good. So I got something, and I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but I got something that I make in about 30 seconds that I can use to hold them things down in the dirt, and that's working like a charm. And what the hell is that on my? Why is that dark right there? What is that? Hmm. I noticed that the other day, and I forgot to look in the mirror. But yeah, I'm gonna redo that strawberry thing, and I'm gonna do another one on that thing, Lisa, that I was telling you about. Naparuski's not in here. Lisa and Naparuski give me a lot of help on on some of these plants and things. But that plant out there was right outside my bedroom window. I When I first drove up to that the other day and looked at that and I seen them things, at first I thought, is that a pineapple? And I just about needed some toilet paper, buddy. It shocked me. It shocked me so much. And then I got to looking, and they're all up in there. There's about 20 or 30 of them things up in there. And then I was showing it to my daughter on the video, and she said, "Oh, they sell them at Walmart." And says that one there with that 2 or 3 flowers on it, they'll get flowers all over it like that. So I don't know what it is, but I thought it was some kind of lily or something when it first started coming back. It just grew back. So I guess it goes dormant in the wintertime. Can you send me the war picture you got? The what? Can I send you the war pictures you got too? What war pictures? Do you have any more stickers? Yeah, I got stickers. Okay, I'll send you that. But what war pictures you got talking about? I, you know what? I had about when I got out of the army and I got married. Uh, I had I was into photography big when I was in the army, and I had about I bet at least 10,000 different pictures, military maneuvers, and German friends and girlfriends, and and that was always a sore point up for my wife. She did not like me having them pictures. And we got into an argument about it one day, and I guess I was about 27, 28, something like that. I took all them pictures, I loaded them, all the pictures, negatives and all, and took them out there and on the road and put them in the trash. I have regretted that ever since. What I should have done was took all the ladies' pictures out and left the military. She might have been all right with that. But I thought, in a way, I thought she'd go out there. No, you don't have to. But oh no, she was happy to see him go. I've always regretted that. Uh, but she didn't. That one girlfriend of mine that had the babies, her name was Renata, and my wife called her and her last name was Tushinsky. And my wife called her Renata Tushitsky. Lord have mercy. Oh, me. I had a past like that, without seeing the plant, but knowing what plants were in the yard when you moved in. They could be bromeliads. I'll have to look that up, Lisa. But these were right by my bedroom window, and there's 2 or 3 small ones that's not doing well that's right behind the air conditioner unit there. Uh, I may pluck them up first, but they weren't big like that. They were maybe 12 inches high, something like that. And now I can see them looking out my window right now, the top. So they're good 3 or 4 feet high. Um, I'll have to look into bromeliads and see what that is. It's got me. They're beautiful, I think. And I've got several rubber plants. I haven't been able to get any rubber plants rooted, but now It's in the same family as pineapple, but decorative. Is a pineapple a bromelade? Lisa, how come you know so much about plants? How come you know so much about plants? Um, but and I've got several things that I want to do videos on about stuff that works for me that the experts tell me you don't do it that way. But when you tell me you can't do something that way, and I try and it works, I well, I ain't gonna say they're dummies, but something ain't right there. Uh, but I'll tell you what, if this seed thing works out like it looks like it's going to, I'll know tomorrow, and the video will go up. Tomorrow's what, Thursday? The video will be up Friday morning about how this seed thing worked out. And I can't, but I've learned a lot of stuff. I used to think when a seed germinates, I used to think that that little white tail thing that comes out of that seed, the first thing, I used to think that was going to be the plant. But no, that's not the plant, that's the root. The plant part's still up in the seed, and usually the plant comes up. A lot of times that little seed will be stuck right on the top of it. But you take those things, once you germinate them, you take them out of there, and I'm gonna have my little pots ready and everything, and you take them out of there and you plant that seed in the dirt with the tail down. That's the root. So it makes it a lot easier on the plant too to form when you're actually placing it like it should be, and it don't have to work to get its root turned down. Because I noticed on those I opened uh, today about it, I noticed I looking at them, the tails, most of them were turned up. So that's what needs to go down, into the dirt. So I'm learning a lot of stuff about that, and I'm also learning a lot of people don't know what crap they're talking about, and some people come on and tell you how easy. My parents and I have lots of books and decades of agricultural and gardening mags in general, and I research on that. By the way, Lisa, Naparuski's sending me some uh, plant books and gardening books that he got from a neighbor. The neighbor had them set out to see if anybody wanted them. She's seen them, said she thought I'd like to have them. So, well, that's right about that little white thing comes out of that seed. That's the root, and it makes a whole lot of sense if you just think about it. Um, so I've learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and I had a nursery at one time, but that was just sheer luck because I did okay. Well, I had a greenhouse, and I sold a lot of. I'm talking. I probably had a couple thousand plants going at any one time. And then the landlord decided he didn't want me to have that greenhouse out there anymore, so I had to take it down. And it was like, let's see, it was 24 foot wide by about 40 foot long. And I was doing hydroponics in there too. That's where you grow plants in water. And I was building my own systems and everything. And when he made me tear that down, I had to quit because there wasn't nothing I could do with it. Yeah, she's sending me some books. Um, she's been a big help. You know, uh, have y'all got any ideas about how I can? I don't know how to push my GoFundMe. I got to get it. I need to start me a new Facebook page if I can figure out how to do it and get around all this garbage that's on my computer. Because every time I try to bring up something to do a Facebook page now, I got all this old stuff popping up. I got uh, Sunny Days, which was the name of my photography studio, and what's that other one? And something hydroponics. Uh, and all that keeps coming up, and it don't even let me make a new page. So I ain't figured out how to get that off of my computer. Uh, Maybe if I could figure out how to close out those accounts, I don't know. Yeah, it was a big greenhouse. And I built it all myself. Built it all myself, and the only thing I had to pay for was the plastic stuff that goes over top, and that's not like plastic you buy in a store. You have to order it. It's a high grade plastic, and because all the other stuff was materials that I got for nothing. Most of it was out of the big. I was getting big 4-inch PVC pipes and 3-inch PVC pipes. I was getting all that for nothing. I was going over this place that sold PVC pipe wholesale to well drillers and stuff. And when one of them got a chip on it, the pipe got a chip or something or a crack, they'd put it out, had a place they put it, and I could come over and get it. And same thing on 2x4s. I got all the free 2x4s I wanted. But the only thing I had to pay for was that polyethylene that went on that thing. And boy, that was a trick getting that. I mean, it won't low in the ceiling. It was up like this, you know, and it was something. I always worried about a real big storm come. If a hurricane never come while I had that, I'd have been up the creek. Put the GoFundMe in a link in the description of and the on my on my on my I was thinking about, yeah, I guess I need to do that. I need to get it where it just pops in there. And I need to start putting it up here. I usually do, but I forgot to copy it to my computer so I could do it. But I knew it was going to take a while. Sorry, my mom is well. Hey, Ruby, how you doing, dear? Ruby is well. Ruby is 66, and she's either retired now or getting ready to retire. And she lives there. I don't know what their situation. She may live with him or he may be living with her. I don't know. It don't matter. People ask me, do I live with my daughter? Well, I don't think so, but she's had a household, so maybe I do live with my daughter. Never left home, and that's something me and Troy's got in common. His two kids are right there with him. One of them's 20, one of them's 23, I think. Hey, Ruby, how you doing, dear? And Allison, if you're there, I don't think well, he said I hadn't talked to you, so, but hey, I'm 80. I'll forget stuff. I'll start. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to wonder why old people did stuff and repeated themselves and got off track and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, as far as Barbara, I didn't see Barbara. Hey, Barbara, I I didn't know why they did stuff, but doggone. One day I'm sitting there thinking I'm doing exactly what those old people used to do, and they still do because I'm doing it now. Uh, I hate getting off the traffic. I hate start talking about something and then something catches my eye or something and I get off track and then I can't remember what I was doing. Uh, I have an old door with two windows on top, all wood, and some old cabinet doors with windows so I can eventually make a cold frame. Sounds good. I had cold frames. I had cold frames. I didn't use them that much because in where I live, the climate's not that severe. But I used to start. By the way, uh, I'm going to set out 10 of those container bags that I've got and fill them up with soil. And I'm going to start in about a week or two. I'm going to get me some. I'm either going to buy cabbage plants or I'm going to buy seeds. Uh, but I think I'm going to start the seeds. And cause I want to get 10 heads of cabbage growing out there. Nobody here in the house eats it but me. But I was told, I don't know this to be a fact, I was told that when the cabbages mature, you can cut all the leafy stuff off, the big leaves going up like that. And matter of fact, you can eat them leaves, but you can cut all that off, and all you got there is that round head of cabbage sitting there in the dirt on that stem. And they say you can keep them like that for a good while. So, but hey, Colonel, how you doing, sir? um, and for those that you don't know it, Tyrannical Mystery Covers is a veteran Army, no Marines. He's retired Marine. And you never did tell me, Colonel, where did you come up through the ranks, or how how did that work for you? I know some people that come all the way up through the ranks, but you don't see many that come up through the ranks. Where did that go? Um, but I love cabbage. I like to take cabbage, put it in the blender, and chop it up and make my own coleslaw. I like to take cabbage and put it in the blender, chop it up real fine, and put it in a frying pan with a little bit of bacon grease, pour it on it, put a lid on that thing. Mm-mm-mm. I like cabbage with corned beef. I like cabbage. I came up through the. Oh, that's neat. So that's neat. That's neat. Uh, Tyrannical. My hat's off to you. You're not a 90-day wonder. You don't see a lot of people coming up through the ranks. I seen a I seen a sergeant was he a sergeant major? What is that sergeant? He's there's a sergeant major, but I think there's one just above that, uh, and he didn't he was going to get promoted and he didn't want it. He didn't want it, and he said if you promote me, I'll retire. So they didn't promote him. Oh my gosh, he came up through the rank. I'm so proud. So you know what it's like to be down at the bottom. And did you? I guess you had to start at E1, didn't you? That's where I started at. Of course, I didn't get but to E5, E5, and uh, then the staff sergeant was E6, sergeant first class E7, uh, master sergeant was E8, and the first sergeant I can't remember now, but yeah, I started. I'm late. So hey, Lisa, how you doing? Lisa Ricardo, got two Lisas in the house. uh, but anyway, Lisa's a nurse, and I got a soft spot in my heart for nurses. And I most of the time when I'm at the hospital, it tears me up to see a doctor start giving a nurse a hard time about something. And a couple of times I said something to him, but well, one of them was a lady doctor, and she's getting all over this one nurse, and that man, that just, I mean, the nurse, they would be up the creek without those nurses. They absolutely would. Um, I'm the, I know and I understand. Yeah, you sure do that. It upsets me terrible, you know. And matter of fact, my nephew that's an RN, he was a head nurse over at a place called Palm Gardens. It was I don't know if you could call it a rehab. It was a convalescent home, and it's very. Uh, my wife was in there twice, recuperating where she fell and stuff. And my nephew Raymond, he he got he had, and that was a good job he had, and he quit. He just up one day and quit. I said why, and he said because they was they was keeping people here longer than they. It was a money thing, and people was wanting to go home, and they was keeping them there, and it makes sense, you know, because that was an expensive place, and but they didn't keep my wife longer than they needed to because they knew the insurance wasn't going to go for it, and she lost a couple of friends in there, you know, that just died. Uh, that that one lady she was friendly with, her name was Helen. It was a roommate of hers, and Helen had a stroke and in her bed, and it was several hours. I don't know if that's normal or common, but she was all before they found her. She was, what did they call it? Rigor mortis had set in. She'd been dead a while, so she may have laid there a while alive, you know, but not able to do anything. I don't know. I've never met but one rude nurse, and it was an older lady. And, and the last day I seen her before I got out, I finally got a smile out of that old woman. Finally got a smile, and she was from Guatemala. She was from Guatemala, and uh, and my hat's off to a lot of those, they call them techs, the ladies that come in there and, you know, dump your journal and give you baths and everything. And that bothered me no end. It bothered me more if it was a young, you know, somebody, a girl like in her 20s or something, to have to come in there and bathe me. But it didn't bother me if the ladies were older. Now, I don't understand the reasoning behind that, but and that when I was in that rehab thing after I got out, that they kept sending this girl in there, and I swear, and she just got married, and I think I told her, I said, well, I guess now you'll be going around hoping your husband don't look like this when he's my age. she, yeah, them older nurses, they're quick and to the point on a lot of stuff. The younger nurses are not. I don't know how Rosa's. She didn't become an RN until she was about 47 or 48. She's the one that turned down that big money just because she's working a fourth day, you know. I don't know if all nurses work shifts like that. They work 12 on, 12 off. 12 on, 12 off, 12 on, 12 off for 3 days. And then, thank you, sir. I guess he's tired of hearing me out. But yeah, did they all work like that, Lisa? Oh, well, there's Isabel. Did I see? I didn't see Isabel. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I did. But anyhow, I will have a video up Friday morning. But that one I did yesterday, I got looking at that thing last night about 11 o'clock, and I just deleted the whole thing. It sucked. I kept wandering off, getting off topic, and leaving 5 or 6 minutes of no conversation, no dialogue at all. And storms, what storms? Is it storming somewhere? We had a storm the other day, boy, but I think it rained a little bit last night. It's not rained today, but it's only, well, it's getting close to looking like that out there. I'm gonna, Lisa Kleckner, I'm gonna send you a picture of that bromelaid. I'm now that I think about it, it's probably something like that. But I'm sure when they get dormant, I'm gonna sure pop some up. And I'd like to know how to propagate them. It's probably by the roots, I would expect. I don't know. But I've been talking, and I ain't been talking to her yet. I got 16 in the house. I just noticed today, I went to check on something on StreamYard, and the dadgone thing, it wasn't live, but I had a string of people on the comment section wondering where I was at, because somehow or another I had it set for like 1:30 today, and I didn't know it. So I just closed. I hollered at everybody, but everybody's already gone. Right. He signed up at 17. My grandmother signed for me because my parents were not around. That first year, all I did was kitchen duty. Man, I hated that KP. I hated that KP. And you know, we had I remember a mess sergeant when I was in basic, and we catch KP, and the mess sergeant got upset at you about something. Uh, they had a machine there that would peel the potatoes. They put it in this thing, and it turns around and around, and it peels the potatoes. But if he got mad at you, he'd set you out there on the step with a bag of potatoes and put your hand through the potatoes. I hated that. If it storms and I'm off, I get called in. Okay. Uh, but yeah, I hated that. But when we gyroed over to Germany that first term I did, uh, we the 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 battery commanders and stuff, the captains and stuff, they took a vote, or the whole battalion did, if they wanted to chip in so much. It was like $2 or $3 a month. If it was, I think it might not even been that much, and chip in a couple of dollars a month, then you would hire civilian German KPs. So we didn't have no KP there when I was in Germany. We was paying a couple of dollars a month for that, and it was well worth it. I wish they could have done that with guard duty or something. I hated guard duty. And I had to, one time when I was on guard duty, I was up at the ammo dump somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And somebody come running between jeez, what do you call them? This big old mounds that got ammunition and stuff stored in them. Somebody come running down through there, and I give them that halt stuff, and who goes there? That's what they told us to say. It sounded stupid, and they slowed down, but they kept walking. They coming my way, and boy, I had the clip. The clip was already in my rifle. Back then it was the M1. And I hollered again. He didn't stop, and I pointed the gun down to the ground, which was a mistake. I should have pointed it up. I pointed down to the ground, and I fired around. And he took off then. He or she, I don't know, it was dark. And he took off. And then when the guard come by, and I told him what happened. He said, "Why did you fire at the ground?" I said, "Well, I didn't want to shoot at him." He said, "You should have shot in the air." And they made me pay for that round, that one round I fired. I had to pay for that. Ticked me off. And that was a second lieutenant. Man, I can stand those second lieutenants, especially them 90-day wonders. But somebody comes up through the ranks, they're not like that. And what is that sergeant's rank? What do they call him? Sergeant of mass. There's a name they give it. It's where they're up there. Usually they're working in the Pentagon or something. I hear that. My daughter gets that a lot, even where she works. She works at Walmart. Sometimes they'll call her begging her to come in, and of course they're paying her. Oh, Lisa's in the ER? I didn't know that. God, I couldn't stand that. Whew. Last time I went in the hospital, no, the time before the last time I went in the hospital, it was for COVID. But the time before that, they I was in that, they run out of rooms, and I laid out there. They had a, they had a row of beds out there in the hallway, and there was so much going on, you couldn't sleep. Your niece worked in the Pentagon. Uh, okay. Guess what? My uncle, my uncle, Uncle Aubrey, worked at the White House, and that's the God's truth. He worked at the White House. However, here's the rest of the story. When he worked at the White House, it's when Truman was president, and they come in there. The place was falling apart, and they come in there and they gutted that thing. They took the whole inside out of that. All that's left was a shell, but they saved all the stuff, all the floors and the walls and all that stuff. Saved all that. That's when he worked there. It's when they was remodeling that White House, and I forget what year that was. Maybe 48, 49, something like that. I can't remember. But he worked in there. He was a carpenter, but he worked at the White House. Now I got a first cousin that worked for NASA over here at the Cape Canaveral, and she knew a lot of those astronauts and stuff. And a lot of those ladies. The lady that got killed when that Challenger went down, was it the Challenger, or was it, which one was it? There was two, but she knew that school teacher. She was on board that thing when it blew up. I'll never get over car accidents either. I'm too much aware of how fast things can go wrong on that, and I've only been in two accidents, and both of them were. One of them was very minor, and the other one it totaled the car, but nobody was hurt. Uh, but in 1986, a car pulls out in front of the Greyhound bus going 60 something miles an hour, and my son was in the car. He died. Uh, and so did the girl. So things can go wrong so fast, and it bothers me when I see somebody using that phone. It bothers me no end. My daughter's not bad about it, but she's got it. It sits up there at the dash, and she's got something hanging around her neck. She can push a button, and they can talk, you know. But I don't think they need. My buddy worked at the White House when Monica was hooking it with Bill. He said first thing first that he is going to lie, and he sure did. Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I don't, uh, I don't talk politics hardly at all. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: he didn't belong. I, you want to hold. I know a lot of these presidents have things that they do that we don't know about. But I hope if I think if it comes out they've done this or done that, I hold them to a higher standard than I do Joe Blow down the road here or something. I just do. And and what what Bill was doing was cheating on his wife, and I don't know if you could call it seducing or what, but she was what, 20, 21, something like that. And of course, she's awestruck with the him being president and everything. So, but I just hold him to a higher standard. And uh, Nixon screwed up big time. Uh, and Johnson, he was pretty raunchy about some stuff. Uh, that one man, I can't even think of his name. I can't believe this. Well, I voted for him too. What was his name? The peanut farmer. What was his name? Dang on. Uh, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was caught between a rock and a hard place. He didn't do that great of a job, but I think he got a raw deal, and that was then when they had all them hostages over in Iran, stuff like that. Uh, you can find fault with every one of them, all the way back to the very first one. You can find fault with them all. Uh, and Jefferson has got a lot of descendants that are black or half black, part black, that came from what's her name, Sally Hemings, a slave lady of his that he was having. I'd call it an affair. So there's a lot of stuff. They've done a lot of stuff, but I'm not getting political, folks, because I ain't discussing my. Whoa! Did I tell him? Maybe I didn't. I try not to tell anybody how I vote. Well, I just told you I voted for Jimmy Carter. Uh, but I also voted for Kennedy. Uh, had I been old enough to vote when Eisenhower ran, I would have voted for Eisenhower. But I wasn't old enough. I didn't turn 18 till 1958. Uh, and there's been some I voted for that I've got regrets about. Uh, and now this thing with Afghanistan, what a freaking mess that's turned out today. Uh, wow. Anyway, I've been talking long enough. I've been talking over an hour. And folks, I appreciate all of you being in here. I've seen 19 in here at one time there. Um, yeah, Jimmy Carter. When Jimmy Carter first announced that he was running for president, I told my wife, that man's going to win the presidency. Why do you think so? I said, well, he kind of looks like John Kennedy looked like. He kind of, there wasn't. I don't know what it was. It was his man. But sure enough, he's president. But it was only one term. That's when Ronald Reagan come in there. Now I voted for Ronald Reagan, and he was a good president, I think. Uh, George Bush, the senior George Bush. A lot of people don't know. I've got a picture of him crawling out of a life raft out in the middle of was it Pacific or the Atlantic? He was a pilot, a Navy pilot, fighter pilot, got shot down, and he's crawling out of that life raft up on the deck of this submarine. Uh, and then when people was running against him, which was Clinton, Bill Clinton, and talking about him the way they did. Uh, I just, you don't talk. George Bush, I'd call him a dang hero. I mean, you crawl your butt in a plane, you're fighting in Japanese or Germans, which I can't remember if he was in the Pacific or Atlantic theater, and you get your butt shot down, you're in that water, and like he said one time, said I was, no, his son said that the other Bush, the one that was president, he said, talking about that, and said, I know Dad was sitting in there praying that that the Americans found him before the Japanese did. Yep, that's what it was. He was in the Pacific theater. Uh, the man was a hero. Just don't bust. I mean, that's what tears me up about politics. You talk about them like they're dogs. And like when Trump was running for president the first time, and Ted Cruz was also trying to get that nominated for it. He was calling Ted lying Ted and stuff like that. And Ted, Ted's an honorable man. Uh, and there's some, on both sides. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off of it. I'm getting too close into politics, and I try to stay out of that. And I sure wish they could have found a way to fix my Social Security thing so I could have got all them. Well, that was what was it? Two bonuses, but I didn't get no bonus. I didn't get no stimulus bonus. Um, had a had a misunderstanding with FEMA when we had that hurricane. They come by there and uh, looked at the damage on my house. About 2 weeks later, they sent me a check for a little over $5,000, which wasn't even close to it. But then about 2 weeks after that, they sent me another check for 20,000. No, it was about 20. It was 150, 58, 150. It was about 2,300 and something dollars, and that fixed that. We was so happy to see that. And then a year later, sends me a uh, sends me a letter telling me that they overpaid me $10,158, and they needed it back. Of course, I didn't. I appealed it. I appealed it 2 or 3 times, but it always got denied. And now they're holding about $60 a month out of my Social Security to pay it back, and I don't get no stimulus. No, my scooter's not fixed. I've got $228 in the GoFundMe money, and okay, Lisa, I love you, dear. I appreciate it so much. So, but no, it's not. Not any closer on the scooter, big scooter, and the scooter I haven't heard from. They're supposed to call me this week, and here it is Wednesday. UFW helps Lions Club. Okay, Lisa, how old's your son? Must be a baby. I haven't seen Crazy Family. And now Peruski. I haven't seen now Peruski. That gum. All right. Hour and 14 minutes. Folks, I appreciate it so much. I'll see you on the midnight rendezvous. Um, Let me find my thing, Eric. I'm gonna have to take some of this stuff out here. I never use it. Um, but I appreciate it so much. Y'all have a good day and a good night.